Let's go back to callers. Thanks, Sayyid, to Ihsaan calling from Ottawa. Ihsaan, hello.
Hi, Kathleen. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I've been listening to the conversation, and I'm the executive director with CAIR-CAN, the Canadian Council on American Islamic Relations, and we spoke to this issue quite early after the arrest. And I just wanted to reinforce that this is something that the community takes very seriously, and the people that I've been speaking to are obviously following this story quite closely. I think it's also important to point out that radicalization, as the Imam was saying, is not something that's the exclusive franchise of the Muslim community. And if we could wave a magic wand and make it go away, we would. But unfortunately, we can't. There are no simple answers. And I think what these latest arrests show is that there's no single profile that fits a person who is more or less predisposed to these kinds of incidents. These are gentlemen who are older, in their 30s, 35, not young people. So I think it's important that we be careful not to conflate someone's outward religiosity or lack thereof with violent extremism.
And we're too attracted, are we not, to simple answers?
I beg pardon?
We're too attracted, it seems to me, to simple answers to complex.
Indeed. I mean, I think someone's levels of religiosity doesn't necessarily correlate with their propensity, to commit violent extremism. In fact, some studies, including one in the UK by a think tank called Demos, the study was called The Edge of Violence, indicate that extremely religious people can be instrumental in combating violent extremism or skewed cut and paste interpretations of the faith that terrorists rely on to justify their actions.
Yeah. Sayyid?
I agree, but at the same time, I also would like to add that they are, when we're dealing with the issue of radicalization, we have to understand that they are most experts that have studied this topic extensively. In the program that I've implemented, we've gone with this model of the 4 stages, and they are the 4 stages to the radicalization process. These are based on studies by expert organizations throughout the world. There's your pre-radicalization, self-identification, indoctrination, jihadization. Even look at if you follow the story of the Boston bombers, same thing, right? There was the self-identification. Pre-radicalization, they look like regular American or regular people that have moved to America. But then there's the indoctrination stage, and that's where your Misha figure comes in. We don't know who he is. He's apparently a new Muslim. He converted to Islam, which is very interesting. And he basically comes and brainwashes these guys, and then they enter into the indoctrination stage through the videos that they're reviewing on YouTube that there's no restrictions on, right? There's nothing. We ban child pornography, and I said this when I testified before the Senate committee in 2010. I said my number one concern is why are we not doing anything, or why are we not coming and thinking of ways to either prevent or just not allow Al-Qaeda propaganda from Chechnya and different parts of the world.
I just want to let Ihsaan respond back. Ihsaan?
Well, I want to give kudos to the Imam, and I think that what he has said reflects the majority of what Canadian Muslims would say, that Canadian Muslim society is ready and willing to work with the wider society to promote everyone's safety. We're all in this together. Terrorism and extremist violence doesn't discriminate, and as such, it's critical that all peoples and all sectors of society, including our political, educational, community leaders, work together to combat this, really what is a disease, and to maintain our rich heritage of multiculturalism and diversity, so that we all benefit from being in Canada.
Okay, Ihsaan, I'm glad you called. Thanks very much. I want to try